Okay, so I want this practice today to be a real sense of reflection, of slowing down, of giving you time for you. So we're going to do a half an hour of really just working inwards. Try not to be too distracted by everything else. I'm just going to slow down. Okay, so we're going to start with our pranayama. We're going to do some alternate nostril breathing. So if you haven't practiced that before, you'll be closing your right nostril, it's with your right hand, you'll be closing your right nostril with your thumb, index finger and middle finger on your forehead, and then the ring finger closes the left nostril. We'll be breathing in through the left nostril first, so keep that open. You'll be breathing in for a count of 3 or 4, whatever is comfortable for you. And then you close the left nostril, open the right nostril, exhale for the same length of time, and once you finish the exhale, inhale, close the right, open the left, and exhale. And then we'll just continue repeating that. Okay. Find a comfortable seated position. Maybe you're on a block. Close down your eyes to start with. Let's just settle into our practice. You've dedicated this time just for you. So use this as your special time. You've got nowhere else to be. Take a couple of really nice deep breaths. With every exhale, just feel yourself growing more and more onto your mat. Releasing anything from that outside world and coming into that safe space. Okay, when you come to the end of that next exhale, bringing the right hand up, closing the right nostril with your thumb, resting the index finger and the middle finger on your forehead, keeping that left nostril open. Inhale either for a count of 3 or 4. Close that left nostril, open the right, exhale for the same amount of time. And then inhale through the right nostril again for 3 or 4. Close the right, open the left, exhale for the same amount of time. Keep going with this exactly in the same pattern, filling up your belly. And then feel your belly deflating. If you need something to focus on that's going to help bring you to your mat, focus on the counts of your breath and count in your mind the inhales and the exhales, and that will just give your brain something to focus on rather than starting to wander. Take 2 more full rounds of your breathing, and once you come to the end, meet me in child's pose. Okay, so coming down to child's pose whenever you're ready. You decide whether it's going to be closed knees or wide knees. Whether you're going to take those hands out in front or behind. Feel this difference where our stomach is now constricted. That for you to get the full inhale, you're going to really have to utilize that back body, so filling up the back and sides of the ribs. Feeling those ribs really expand out to the edges of the mat. With every exhale, sink those hips further down to the heels. This is exactly where you're meant to be right now. In your safe space. Just breathing, just slowing down. Dedicating this time just to you. If your arms aren't out in front of you, take them out in front of you now. Reach those fingers ever so slightly further forward by still reaching that sit bones down to the ground, keeping them nice and long. Really big inhale here. And exhale, walk the hands over to the right side, keeping that left bum cheek, left hip down onto that heel. Feeling this stretch down the left side of the body. Still breathing. Every inhale, maybe you can crawl those fingers a little bit further forward. Every exhale, can you take that bend ever so slightly more? Next inhale, slowly walk those hands through center, over to the left side, remembering to ground that right hip still down to the heel. Feeling that really nice stretch through the right side of the body, all the way from the tips of the fingers down to that hip. Thinking about walking those fingers slightly further forward with every inhale. And every exhale, see if you can walk them over to the left that little bit more. Inhale, walk the hands back through center again. Take the hands together in prayer and take those hands, so the thumb side of the hands to that top part of the back, just the top of the neck. Maybe you walk those elbows slightly further forward, really feeling this nice stretch through the fronts of the shoulders. Thinking about drawing the shoulder blades together and down your back. Opening up through this chest. If you've got the space, walk those elbows ever so slightly further forward. Final inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, coming all the way up, walking the hands to the back towards our knees. And then kneeling all the way up, tucking our toes. Maybe you just want to just rock out the thighs if they feel a little bit stagnant from that child's pose. Coming all the way up. Coming into a half camel. Inhaling, really drawing this energy high. And then taking the right hand to the heel. Taking this left hand all the way up and back. Feeling this chest expanding to the sky. Trying to keep those shoulders nice and square. Drawing the thighs over the knees. And really keep reaching this heart through to the sky. Trying to think about this height coming from the heart rather than thinking about a bend from your back, because we don't want to allow this energy to move to the lower back. We want it to be all about the upper back, opening up through that chest and working the mobility of our upper back. Final inhale. Exhale all the way up. Maybe you just untuck those toes for a second and slowly come back down to kneeling with your bum onto those heels. Take a couple of breaths. Maybe you close down the eyes. When you're ready, all the way back up, tuck those toes. Take the left hand now to that left heel. Inhale, reach that right hand up and back. Again, energy pulling through this heart rather than thinking about the lower back, because we want to keep that lower back really nice and long. Maybe you're starting to draw energy into these glutes. Really useful for a lot of us to work these glutes whilst we're in any back bends. Breathing here. Next, inhale all the way back up and come down to sitting back onto your heels. Just find that stillness again in your breath, in your body. Bring your mind back to being onto your mat, into this safe space. Going to come into a low lunge with our right foot forward, so crawl these hands forward and at the same time bring this right foot all the way through. Just settle into this low lunge just for a second. Maybe the left knee is down, the hands are framing the foot. You're really thinking about this nice length of the back. Plant the left hand down, big inhale, right hand all the way to the sky, drawing the shoulder blades together. So you might have already noticed this kind of pattern within the practice that does run through a lot of our yoga. It's all about keeping the chest open, finding space in the chest. From an anatomical point of view, obviously, you're going to have a lot more space to breathe. Your lungs, your diaphragm are going to have that space to breathe. But also from the more spiritual side, you're opening up your heart. You're allowing these emotions to roam freely. You're opening yourself up to experiences and allowing yourself to reflect. Keep reaching that right hand high. Keep drawing the shoulder blades together. Exhale, bring that right hand all the way down, switching over to the other side, bringing this right foot back, left foot forward, staying in this low lunge, framing that left foot, drawing the shoulder blades together if that's going to help promote this nice open chest. Breathing here. Planting the right hand down, big inhale, reach the left hand high into this nice easy twist. Pushing the energy through the mat with that right hand, reaching the left hand high. Think about the right rib cage spinning round to the left as the left spins up to the sky, drawing the shoulder blades together. Exhale, left hand all the way down to the ground. This time we're going to walk our weight forward so that we can bring this right foot forward to the top of the mat. Crossing the right foot behind the left into this crossed forward fold. Hanging out here. Feeling this nice stretch through the outside of that right hip. Really allowing that head to grow loose. Letting it hang with gravity, feeling really heavy. Switching over to the other side, so uncrossing the right, crossing the left behind, folding here, feeling that stretch through the left outer hip now. Every exhale, just let that head go a little bit more, coming into that fold even more. Uncrossing that left foot, coming back, placing it next to the right. Maybe the feet are just over hips width distance apart. Bend those knees as much as you need to be able to rest the belly onto your thighs. Hang the head, take the hands onto the opposite elbows into this ragdoll. And maybe you take some movement here, swaying from side to side. Shake your head, nod your head, just really feel that energy complete releasing. And then come back to stillness. Take the hands away from the elbows and really slowly roll all the way up through standing. Through every single vertebrae, head being the last thing to come up. Take those feet now just to about hips width distance apart. Big inhale, hands up. Maybe you take that gaze up. Exhale, bend through the knees all the way down to the ground, forward fold. Place the hands onto the ground, belly onto the thighs. Inhale, halfway lift, taking into your really nice straight back, hands onto your shins. Pulling the belly button into your spine, pulling the shoulder blades in towards one another. And the weight is in the toes. Exhale, fold, hands planted onto the ground. Step the left foot straight back. Coming into a lizard lunge this time, so taking the right foot to the outside of the mat, to the right side of the mat. Hands both to the inside. Again, thinking about this nice open chest, feeling this stretch through the inner thigh on that right side and the left hip flexor. Maybe you've got that knee off of the ground, maybe you're onto your forearms. Close down the eyes if that is comfortable. On your exhale, we're going to bring the weight back, straightening up through this right leg as much as you can. Doesn't need to be straight, but flex through the right foot. So really pull the whole of this foot back, not just the toes. Inhale all the way back to this lizard lunge. Exhale, take the weight back into this half splits. Inhale all the way forward. Exhale all the way back. One more time, inhale, exhale, Inhale back through your lizard lunge, coming onto the edge of that right foot, drawing that knee out to the side, picking up this right hand all the way to the back of the mat. Maybe you stay here, reaching the right hand backwards, or maybe you pick up this left foot. Maybe you're able to grab hold of that left foot and start to bring the energy of that left foot down towards the bum. Keeping this chest nice and open, keep pushing the mat away with that left hand. Keep breathing. Exhale, completely release. Planting both hands, switching over to the other side. Maybe you just hold your plank for a second. Bringing the left foot forward, untucking the right toes. Maybe you're down on that right knee. Into your lizard lunge. The hardest thing here in our practice today is going to be you bringing your mind back to the four corners of your mat and not allowing your mind to wander. So come back to your breath anytime you feel that that is happening, and just count the inhales and exhales. Next, exhale, taking that weight back, straightening through that left leg, flexing the left toes, coming into the half splits. Inhale into your lizard lunge. Exhale all the way back, trying not to round through this back as you come back. Inhale, lizard lunge. Exhale, back. One more time, inhale, front. Exhale all the way back, just holding here for a second more. Inhale all the way forward, planting that right hand down, coming onto the edge of that left foot, taking the knee out to the side. Big inhale, left hand up and over to the back, reaching the left hand backwards. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you're able to pick up that right foot and then bring the right heel down to the bum. Keeping the chest open, keep pushing the mat away with that right hand. Keep breathing. Exhale, take that leg long, left hand all the way back to the front. And now if it's comfortable for you, if not, come to a wide knee child's pose. But if you can, bring this right foot forward into your Malasana squat, into your yogi squat. If you're there, take your hands to the chest, drawing those elbows into the insides of the thighs. Think about the tailbone lengthening down to the ground, crown of the head lengthening high. Think about the shoulder blades drawing together so that that chest is nice and open. If you're in your wide leg child's pose, come up to your all fours and thread the needle. So if you're taking thread the needle, you'll be taking the left hand high and then taking that left hand through the gap of the right hand, right thigh, taking the left ear to the ground. If you're in your Malasana, we're going to take this right hand all the way over to the right side. It's going to come off of the mat, taking this knee into that right arm, and then bringing the left hand high into this really nice expansive twist. Making sure you're still grounding through the feet evenly. Wherever you are, you're breathing, you're focusing on that breath. Inhale, come all the way back up to your all fours or back into your Malasana. Exhale onto the other side. So maybe you're in that thread the needle, you're taking the right arm through. And if you're in your Malasana, you're taking your left arm to the front of that left thigh, reaching the right hand high. Keep drawing the knees out. Don't allow them to buckle inwards. Breathing here. Exhale, coming all the way back to center, whether you're in your all fours or Malasana. If you're in your all fours, step through so that you can come all the way to seated. If you're in your Malasana, just take the hands back and then walk those feet inwards. So everybody should be on their bums with the feet in front of them, knees straight up to the sky. Take the left leg long, take the right foot, cross it over the left. Maybe you've even got this left foot tucked under so that the heel is towards the bum. And then coming into a nice twist, taking the left hand, crossing it over the right hand all the way back. Big inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Keep thinking about the right bum on the ground. If it's not, just take this grip slightly higher up that leg so that you're not pulling it round so much. Absolutely, you close down the eyes if that is going to be comfortable for you. Inhale all the way back through center. Crossing over to the other side, left foot up and over, right hand to the outside of that left leg, left hand behind, inhale, lift, exhale, twist. Breathing here. Inhale all the way back through center, uncross those knees. Give your knees a really big squeeze into your chest. Keep breathing those really nice deep breaths. Take the feet away, keeping the knees up to the sky, hands out in front. Activate your core just so that we can roll all the way down nice and safely through every single vertebrae. Really big stretch once you get down. Reaching the hands out behind you, pointing those toes, reaching the toes away from the fingers. And then bend up the knees. Take the knees over to the right. Maybe you're taking those arms long beside you in a big T. Remembering to stay with this breath. Inhale all the way back up, over to the left. Still breathing here. Inhale back up to the sky. Hug those knees into the center. Really draw the whole of the tailbone up to the neck, up to the crown of the head, down to the ground. Think about the shoulders squeezing into the ground. Maybe you're holding on to the hamstrings to enable you to do this instead. Feel this difference of our back whilst we're squeezing it down to the ground. Coming into our happy baby before we come into our Shavasana. So take anything extra you need after the happy baby. Maybe you're into a half happy baby or you're full. Drawing the shoulders down, keeping that chest open. Holding onto the outsides of the feet, drawing the heels up to the sky, or maybe you're holding on behind the hamstrings. Wherever you are, keep drawing the tailbone down, lengthening all the way up to the crown of the head. If you're in your full baby and it feels comfortable, start to rock from side to side. Coming back into stillness. And working your way into Shavasana when you feel ready, legs out long, hands beside you, eyes closed if they aren't already. And with every breath, feel heavier and heavier into the mat. Allow all of the limbs, all of your fingers, all of your toes to be released from any hold that you have on them so that they can grow really heavy. And you feel like you're sinking into your mat. The only thing moving is your belly rising and falling. The only thing you need to think about right now is that inhale and exhale. You have dedicated this time to you. You do not have anywhere else to be. It is so important to give yourselves these times and to not allow anything else to cloud this feeling of relaxation, of stillness. Because we do not give ourselves that enough anyway. Really feel that space behind the eyes, completely relaxing. What might feel nice is to think about the space between your eyebrows, that third eye center. For me, when I think about it, when I take my gaze there, my eyes go into complete darkness, which might feel strange, might sound strange. But give it a go, see what you think. And I start to get some flickering senses of light coming in, which really help me come into this sense of calm. Tongue away from the roof of the mouth if it isn't already. Really relax that jaw. Stay here for longer if you have time. If not, start to bring movement back into your fingers, into your toes. Big stretch. Point those toes as far away from the fingers as you can. Bend up your knees, roll over to one side, keeping the eyes closed. All the way up to seated. Whatever comfortable position you're in, hands onto the thighs, palms facing up. Keep expanding this chest, keep those breaths nice and still. Even if the only thing you have time for throughout your day is to take 10 really conscious breaths, these deep belly breaths, away from any other distractions, just to bring yourself back to you. Hands to heart center, bow the chin to the chest, thumbs to the third eye. I know it's really difficult to think about, but you are the most important person in your world. If you don't look after you, you won't be able to look after anybody else. You might think that you are, but there's going to come a breaking point. Work on you, love you, and dedicate time, whatever that looks like, to you. Whenever you're ready, coming out of our practice, taking the hands away from the eyes and blinking the eyes open.